All right, welcome everybody. I'm really excited. This is Alexandra, aka Divine Kika, and she's an amazing lady. We're very happy to have her on this podcast as our guest. And yeah, welcome, Kika. It's great to have you.
Hi, this is an honor to be here. Luke has been an amazing gift in my life, and I'm just thrilled to be here and to support your audience to have amazing relationships,
Amazing
sexuality,
relationships,
life.
amazing relationships, love and sex. Hey.
Yes, yes. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Alexsandra. I'm a #1 international bestseller author, and I've been all over TV United States. You might have heard me. And I'm here to help you to really find what makes you happy. Tantra is a path to bliss, to find your own bliss. And this is what it is about, to choosing a life where you are truly happy.
Wow. Wow. So Tantra is about finding your inner bliss or your inner happiness. Is that right?
Choosing with awareness what brings you joy is the definition of Tantra, like the Western.
Wow. Choosing with awareness what brings you joy is the definition of Tantra.
Yes.
Wow. And what do you believe people should look for to find joy? How do they find this joy?
I believe that our body is an incredible tool to heal us, to awake us, and to bring us this bliss. And the first step is to dive into this awareness of self and to know how to master your emotions, which you teach people to do very well, but as well as to master our sexual energy, master our breath, right? Like so many of us have not mastered this ability to feel pleasure in our body, to feel good in our body, to feel joy in our body, to flow, right? A lot of people walk like they're a little bit stiff here and there, and they don't know how to connect and relax and open and not. I feel sad about something. I feel like the potential for orgasmic energy, for bliss, for real happiness, for real joy to flow through the body, it's so high. And I feel like most people don't get even a tip of it.
Wow. Wow. And so why do you think that so many people settle in their own level of sexual pleasure that they allow themselves to feel and experience in their life? Why do you think that so many people settle or don't get to experience the depth of joy or peak of joy and fulfillment and bliss and pleasure that you talk about?
There is many things to this, but it's like, let's break it down in a few things.
Yeah.
First, people don't have the role model that they wish to have of divine masculine. What is being a real man or a real woman in this world?
Wow.
Right? So my invitation when people see that is like, become the role model you wish to have. A lot of men say, I'm so confused with my sexuality and how to be in the world today. I don't even know who I'm here to become this great man that they want to be. And what my answer to that, become your own role model, but learn, right? And then most of us, we saw our parents fighting or some unhealthy patterns in relationship within our own families. And then who in the path of love, sex, and intimacy has not been scarred or hurt or has their heart broken somehow? And then people, those times they make decisions like, I'm not worthy of love, I'm not good enough, or they are afraid to open up this pleasure or this flow. And then there's people that are highly spiritual also separate their sexuality from their spirituality, which leaves them still disconnected. Because all our energy centers are whole and worthy of being love and expansion and to flow.
Wow.
Right? So
Wow.
I
Wow.
don't
So
answer your
I think
question.
that's beautiful. No, I think a lot of my audience and women experience this. So I want to ask you this question. What would you say to the women out there that they've had a couple of bad experiences with men in their past? They've had a number of bad experiences and they're carrying on to past hurt, and they're shutting down from allowing men in their life, and they're shutting down emotionally, and they carry negative or limiting stories about men, and they don't allow themselves to open and allow great men into their life? What would you say to that woman?
I would say I've been there, sister. I've been there. I've been hurt. I've been scarred. And I remember this very moment that I promised myself that I would create fantastic relationships in my life. At the moment that I decided to love myself. Yeah. And that it took me a lot of pain to get to that. And I feel grateful that I had great teachers and people that show me the way. I wouldn't be able to be alone. And I had a Tantra master that opened me, not only my heart, but my sexuality. It opened me to feel bliss. And I remember he calls it the night of my awakening. And I remember I was invited by a Tantra master to take a bath, and he draw this bath for me, and he gave me this amazing tantric massage. And in that tantric massage, that was the first time that I felt I didn't have to perform, I didn't have to say anything. He said, just feel whatever. He said something so beautiful to me that most men don't even know what it means. He said, all your emotions are welcome here. All parts of you are welcome here. If you cry, if you laugh, if you fart, if you pee, I don't care. I want you to feel open and be you. And I was scared. I was scared. It's like, who is this man? And he massaged my body, and all of a sudden I'm feeling all this pleasure and overwhelming. And he said, let it go. And he opened me, and he got into the center of my being, my G spot, and we call it the sacred spot in Tantra. And in that spot, the women hold the ex-boyfriend, the pain, the old relationships. And when that place is massaged and open and energetically awakened, something really beautiful blossoms inside of her. Wow. And she opens. And then I had this, maybe a bit too much for your audience. I don't know. I'm telling my experience. But what happened is, like in the ancient tantric books, it says that the waters come from the heavens, clear and awaken each energy center of the body, and the woman blossoms with this shower. So that is the waters of the subtle body, the secretions of the subtle body. Because we are not just this body, we are energy, we are vibration. Would you agree?
Yes,
so we are vibration, and then when all those vibrations clear and open and blossom and we blossom into water and allow that water to clear us and open us, something magical happens. Now, does it need to be, ladies, that magical? I feel very gifted that I got to experience that, and I understand for most of you it's like, Kika, what the heck is female ejaculation? What are you talking about? So it's like, I don't understand. It's like, what I'm saying is your potential for pleasure and love is beyond you ever imagined or thought about. And if you close yourself, it's so easy to be like this in life and to say no and to find something wrong about every guy you meet, or to not trust. But when you do not trust, you're not giving yourself that ability to relax and allow somebody to love you. When you close down and you don't choose to allow yourself to receive love, and I understand you may say, I got hurt before, I don't want to open up the wrong guy, and there is a lot of wrong guys out there. But if you believe in yourself and you trust that you love yourself, you will choose with awareness what brings you joy and which guy you will give yourself to. And choosing relationships is about, nobody's perfect. Let's be honest here. There's no guy that will be like 100%. Maybe Luke is such an incredible being, but I don't know. Like there's no amazing perfect man. Yes. You need to consciously choose what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with. And I feel like most people, they get really confused about that. They keep waiting for Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. And this goes for men and women, right? Like, another thing I noticed with COVID, everybody's, like, a lot of people lock themselves and they're at home. Nobody loves me. Nobody touched me. I'm really poor me. Nobody wants me now. And then they're starving for love. And anyone that they connect to, now they cling on as like, oh, yes, you are everything I want because I'm so thirsty for love. And then they don't see clearly what's going on. So if you allow yourself to receive love in the ways that life is showing to you, then your heart is going to be full. And most likely you will manifest better things because you're allowing yourself to drink. If you stay thirsty for many days and you drink water, you're not going to feel good when you drink water. But if you drink a little bit now, I drink a little bit tomorrow, maybe you get this amazing fresh squeezed juice the next day that will revitalize your entire body, right?
Yeah.
But if you never drink the water a little bit, and you choose to be closed, and you choose to never receive love, because the nobody is right, what is that reflecting in you?
Yeah.
Is that helpful for the
Yeah,
women?
I think that's beautiful. I think the point around believing that we're worthy of receiving love is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I don't know if you heard this, but some people only allow the love in their life that they believe they're subconsciously worthy of receiving. And so, and a lot of it comes from their childhood, right? Where they didn't receive the love that they really needed or craved as a child. So I feel that people, are then searching unconsciously to experience what was familiar for them or what they subconsciously believe they deserve, even though that it's far less than the level of love or consciousness that they really want from a person, right?
That's so beautiful. You said that. That is so true. And I was that person that I was always looking for approval or looking for that love outside. And I didn't realize that my parents did the best that they could with what they had. And I didn't accept that for a long time. And not until I was able to understand that I deserve love. But how can we help them to understand they deserve love, Luke?
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, said for you, like, your take on it. So yeah, how did you, because you've done this journey yourself. So how do you help women get to a point that they believe they deserve love?
When I work with people, the number one thing that I receive back, is I learned to love myself. I learned to really take care of myself. And the first thing that I teach people is that they need to get in touch with touching their own body.
Really?
And then like feeling their love for themselves, because that's when the magic happens. Because we can all masturbate, right? Our hands are here. It's too close, we all do it. But how are you doing? Are you actually touching? One of the things that took me a while to do is like sometimes, I wake up, I caress my face, you're beautiful, I love you.
Wow.
And at first that didn't make sense. And then now it's real, that love and affection to myself.
Wow. So
And
you
this
recommend women
process,
touch their own bodies, their own self, and
yeah, and actually make love to themselves, explore different parts of their body that they never felt before. And people say, "Oh, I can do that," but then they start to do it and they put it off because they don't make themselves a priority. And part of being a woman is that we make everything else in our lives as a priority. You can say, ladies, just hear me out on this. You say, I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath tonight and I'm going to read my book. And then your sister or your friend calls you, I just broke up, I need somebody to call, talk to. And then somebody else is like, son needs a babysitter. And you end up saying yes to all these things and you completely forgot yourself. And the next day you are so resentful and so mad that you get grumpy and you start to be bitchy with everybody else. Sounds familiar, ladies?
yeah, I can imagine.
How can we stop this? We need to say no to the things that are not loving to ourselves. We need to make ourselves.
Wow. I think that's a great point. The audience needs to hear that again. We need to say no to the things that are not loving towards ourselves. Wow. And so how do you know what is loving towards yourself and what is not loving towards yourself? How do you distinguish between that?
That guy that comes every now and then and he appears and show you a lot of love and then 2 weeks later he goes out on you and then he comes back again. Fuck that guy. Oh, in other words, forgive me. Don't fuck him anymore. It's not good for you.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that okay to say that in your show? Sorry,
I
might have to make a bleep in that.
Women, stop fucking the guy that shows up every 2 weeks out of nowhere and does not.
Hey, here's mine. Do you want to give me service? No. Like and then saying no is saying no. It's looking at, it's going on a date and not fantasizing what is not. It's like having a
Wow.
conversation. How do you feel about your mother? Like, I ask those things. I ask everything.
Wow.
So, but
Yeah.
asking like, what is your, how would you like to create this relationship? What are you looking for in your life? Where are you at in your life? What is the most important thing for you? And then when they say it, listen. Look, I went out with a guy 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and amazing author, right? And I told him, look, I just got out of a relationship. I don't want to take anything serious. Let's hang out. Let's just go out to dinner, have amazing conversations, and be friends. I think that'll be great. But I want you to know, because I don't want to lead you on. And people don't do that, Luke. People don't even do that. Most people don't have the strength to do that. And I would say, so I said that, and then I go, I didn't feel like I have to call the guy every day. So I just, Saturday, I was like, hey, do you want to go for a walk in the park? Oh, you ghost out for the whole week, and da 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 da. I'm like, wow, he didn't hear what I said at all. And how many times we as a woman, ladies and men, like people spell out exactly, I don't want to be in a relationship. I am not ready for commitment. I am committed to my work. I am going to move in 2 weeks from now. Are you listening, or you're making out what you want that person to be? Or you already got on a project, like you start a relationship. So, oh, he can get better on this and that. Oh yeah, he's not very loving, but I can make him. And then you take on a project. You don't take on a relationship. You take on a freaking project. And for you, woo-woo ladies like me that are healers, energetic healers, oh, saviors of the earth, you want to rescue in your relationships because you are a healer. You want to love. And then you're going to choose all these people that are needing something from you, but they're not giving back. So it's not about measuring like, hey, I pay for dinner, you pay for this. No, it's about, is it fulfilling my heart, or I'm feeling drained and this is just a nagging, and why am I feeding this? I don't want to feed trees that don't give fruits back.
Wow. Wow. I don't want to feed trees that don't give fruits back. So, like, someone told me this once, that, the way you know if something is right or not, that, it's either adding energy to your life or it's taking energy away from your life. What do you think about that?
I think that is really right. And I think that when we truly love and honor ourselves, we will be able to identify it. And you may be listening to it and you say, well, in my relationship, I had it in the beginning. And I was this person like 3 months ago,
Wow.
right? I had the most amazing love of my life. But then things start to go into a different direction. Are you listening to the changes that are occurring? Because if a relationship ends, and this is another thing I want to say, when a relationship ends or transition into a friendship, it doesn't mean that you fail. It doesn't mean that you were wrong. It just means that you are now choosing something different. That is a next level of your being. That is something else for you to do. That is someone more amazing for you to meet. Or maybe it's a time that you need to focus on your job or your body or something different. And when you accept that, if that's not working, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're not feeling the relationship is fulfilling you, yes, take responsibility. See what is your part on it and try to make it better. But if you try and you notice things are not flowing, things are just like, people stay in this so many years and they ruin themselves. They start to get sick. They start to drain themselves. So when we say, no, you know what? I need to go my own way now because I need to take care of myself. I feel like this worked up to now, but I have the courage. I have the courage. And that's what I
Wow.
invite you. Having the courage to choose something else that it might be better for you, that you don't know that is there.
Yeah, wow. So this is a big thing that I think people struggle with, is they're staying in a relationship and they know that no matter what, it's not the right person, right? So why do you think people stay in relationships that don't serve them? And what would you say to someone who's in that place right now? And um, how someone that really knows in their soul that they have to let somebody go, but they can't? What would you say to that person?
So first is like it confronts your fear of being alone.
Wow.
Confront your fear that you may never have a love that good again. And then be okay with that.
Wow.
Because the universe is providing to you what you need when you need it, but are you allowing yourself to receive? Like you know, like you need to make room in your life for something new to come in. It's very important.
Wow. So that's the thing, right? Like you need to let go of what doesn't serve you to make room for something greater to come in. So what should people,
If
yeah,
but some relationships just need a little help, you know, and that I do
yeah,
this thing that I go in retreats with couples, like me and a couple, and like I love going to Maui and doing that. It's my most fun job. But sometimes, you know, couples are fighting like cats and dogs, and I say that's easier to get me there than a lawyer. Right? But and then like that this just a little adjustment, like sometimes the sex is not so good, or sometimes somebody's not being heard, because we tend to ask too little in the beginning and ask too much later on, and then we're no longer heard. So if that is that is a way to create better relationships, with setting the boundaries in the beginning and saying what you want, is stating your intentions and creating that relationship that you want to have. It's work.
yeah. Could you share that I don't know whether you would call it a 4-step process or those 4 elements of a tantric conscious relationship? Can you explain what they are and how they work?
So I have this thing like I call like how to create fantastic relationships, right? So you could do that if you're already in a relationship. You still can have this conversation, or if you are starting a relationship, and this is not a first date conversation. First, you have to figure it out if you like this person enough to keep them. Okay, guys, like don't jump too soon. But if you went on a 5 date and you see that this is going somewhere, this is when you know it's going somewhere, or you're already with that person and you want this relationship to be renewed a little bit. So the first thing is saying our boundaries. So boundaries in this context is, what do I need in order to feel safe and to open up? So I need, for example, for me, I always need to be talked to in a calm tone of voice. It's very important for me, because if somebody screams or yells, they can say, I'm very angry right now, I need to go. Or another thing is like, don't disappear, don't go south. Tell me what's going on, even if what's going on is, I am not feeling well, I need time right now, right? So those things need to be said, because we are very sensitive creatures and we get triggered with different things. And this take a little bit of self-awareness to know what I need and what I like and how I like to be treated and what is not okay. So what I invite you to do is make a list to all men and women in your life. Like if you're a woman, like what is not okay for any man to do to you, right? Don't touch me thinking about somebody else. That's a mess. That's like
Yeah.
freaking be present if you're touching me. Right?
Wow.
Like
Wow.
that's
Be present when you're touching me. That's incredible. Wow. 'Cause I
right.
imagine
Like
there's a
if
lot of
you,
people that don't do that. Yeah.
well, yeah, a lot of guys, they're so addicted to the stuff they're seeing on the internet. I'm not going to name it,
Yeah.
but then they're there and then they're so conditioned to just have pleasure that way that now they don't know how to be present with anyone.
Wow.
And that's a problem. That's a problem,
Wow.
right?
All right. So boundaries.
So boundaries.
Yes. What's the second thing?
It's to know your intentions. So what is my intention here? My intention here is to, in this podcast, to give you as much as I can so you can create fantastic relationships in your life and love better and be well loved and experience the pleasure that you want to have. That's my intention being here for you guys, right? But when you are in a relationship, like I told that guy, my intention is to just have fun with you and to learn from you and you learn from me and just hang out. And that was my intention. And that's okay. I don't have to make something that is not.
Yeah.
You know, it could be my intention is just that we have sex and have amazing sex tonight, and I don't know if I want to see you again. It's a bit brutally honest, but you know, if a guys, if you're hearing this and you want to be honest and be in integrity with yourself, you can say, hey, I'm looking forward to being bad with you. And right now it's all I can think about. That's honest.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
not, my intention is to pleasure you, to overwhelm you with pleasure. That would be a better one, right?
Okay,
Like,
that's better.
I
Yeah.
don't think anyone can resent, like, people just hear this one out. If you say this is blow anybody's mind. I can't wait to overwhelm you with pleasure. People just get completely discombobulated. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Oh my God. I can't wait to completely overwhelm me with pleasure. All right. So that could be a
Thinking
possible
that
intent. That could be a possible intention. All right. Very good. What's the third thing then for a great
intentions. So your desires, right? Like what is that you desire in the relationship? So could be, I just want to brush a little more on the intention because we went in a joking a little bit, but my intention is to, like, you could be in the beginning of a relationship. My intention is to get to know you, and if this really feels right, that we continue connecting, and maybe we get into a serious relationship when the time is right.
Mm.
So you're not over in committing here, because you know, and then the desire is, yeah, I desire to have fun with you, I desire to ravish you, or I don't know, like, what do you desire? Like, I invite you to get in touch with your desires, right? Like, it's fun to share desires because it lightens up this conversation. Because when you say the boundaries and you say your intentions, my intention is to really honor you and respect you, and then it's like, okay, like, lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
What is that you desire? Oh, I desire to bite your ear and whisper in your ear and caress the back of your head and da 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 and pull the back of your hair, like whatever it is, right? Like your desire, like just make it hot, make it fun.
Yeah.
But when you're stating your desires, sexual desires, or the things that you desire, you allow yourself to actually give voice to what you really want. And a lot of us don't take the time to give voice to what we want.
Wow.
I don't like, okay, I've been doing a research on Tinder and it's been fun.
Amazing.
And so I talked to these guys just to see what they're going to say. Like, I'm having so much fun with it. Look, you won't believe. So I talked to this guy. The guy's super handsome. He's like a freaking model, right? And
wow.
And I talked to him, and he's like accommodating. Like, he's not saying what he wants. Everything that he's saying is to please me. Like, he's definitely a people pleaser.
Wow.
But he was like, oh yeah, I'm open to whatever shows up. I'm like, no, if you're a man, do you know what makes you hot? Stand on your power. I want a woman that knows what she wants. I want a woman that is very sexual and open, because this is important to me. Own it. Own it.
Wow.
Because when you own it and you are in your power, you're a little bit more hot than other people. Like that guy that is just trying to please, like, he's losing points with all these girls. The girl doesn't even know why she doesn't like it. She just go, oh, yeah, like, oh. Another thing that's yucky is neediness. Like, wow. And then again, if you allow yourself to be desperate and don't receive love for long enough, you enter in that category. So be careful. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't want to be
that's
rushed.
great. You've got so much to share. So we've obviously we've got boundaries, we've got intentions. Now we're doing desires, but just quickly share while we're talking about desires, like what would you recommend to people to help them, whether men or women, to let go of neediness? Because sometimes, like, we might really be attracted to somebody and we really want to be with someone, and we're like, I really want them. And you develop this, people can develop this complex about the person, or this, projection of the person about it's just this fantasy, and it's everything that they want, and it's like they have to have it. So, how would you help someone, men or women, to, let go of neediness, especially someone that they really want to be with?
So one of the things that I'm very grateful for is that I learned how to pleasure my own body in such a way that I can give I can have a full body orgasm by thinking. And this is not a special skill. I can train any of you to do this. Wow. Right? And then you need to become your own very best lover. Wow. When you learn to have pleasure with yourself and to give yourself high pleasure, then your pleasure is not in the hands of anyone else. Now, there is a time and place in relationship that we need to surrender our pleasure to somebody else. But this is not the time in the beginning of relationship. This is not the time when you're dating. This is when you're in a serious relationship. Later on, when you so you will define when is the time. But what I'm saying is, in the beginning, you want to be in your power, and then being in your power is like you're not needing. You're moving your sexual energy. You're breathing it up. You're circulating into your body. And if you want to learn how to do that, go to my website, download 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy tonight, and you will learn the steps to at least to move your sexual energy.
Yeah.
Right. So you get there. But what I invite you to do is make love to yourself. Make love to yourself so you're not needy. And that's not masturbating 3 times a day, guys. This is actually giving yourself love.
Wow.
Touching your face. Touching your face, touching your body, how you would touch the most beautiful lover. This is a
touch your face and yourself the way you would touch your most beautiful lover.
Yes.
Wow.
And that takes time to get there, because your pain that is in the way of that may show up when you try to do that.
Yeah, you've got your subconscious blocks around many people around worthiness or deservedness and their past. Yeah. Right. Wow. Okay. So that's for the neediest piece. So we've now, what's the 4th thing to create a loving, fulfilling?
So let's just wrap up that conversation. That could be a dinner conversation. It could be a very fun conversation. The boundaries, desires, intentions, right? And now we go to the appreciations. Wow. And the appreciations is, I appreciate you're here. I appreciate your smile. Look, I really appreciate who you are and what you bring to people. Your heart is so beautiful. You have been a gift and an inspiration in my life in so many ways. Wow. And I'm just beyond grateful. And it's easy to say it to you because I have so much love for you, for who you are in this earth, for the work you do. Thank you. But when I feel it in my heart, like just by saying this to you, what does that do to me? It opens my heart.
Wow.
And it makes me flow in the energy of love that is around me. So what am I doing when I'm doing that? I'm flowing the energy of love, because love is an energy that we can choose to bring into ourselves. Wow. And to flow with.
Wow. Wow. All right. So, because I think some people with appreciation, they're fearful to appreciate another person because they may be worried that they might, lose them, or that they won't appreciate them back, or, that they, it might make them less if they would appreciate another person, and fearful of not receiving it back. What do you say to that person?
I say the more you give, the more you feel good with yourself. Because love is an energy that is overflowing and it's abundant. It's like this, this ball that is I like to imagine that is this fluffy cloud of love that when you just breathe in and you decide to tap in there, you can just flow love into you.
Yeah, wow.
And if love is an energy, right? And then it's an energy that you give and you receive. But when you're giving, you're experiencing the love within yourself to give. So that itself is a gift to you first. It doesn't matter what the people do with the love. You know why? Because there is more than enough love for you in this earth if you choose to receive. And we come from this because we started for love, or we didn't see our parents being loved, or yada, yada. And our brain is so conditioned to not experience love, and everything else around us is pushing us to feel fear. We forget that love is an energy that we can flow with.
Wow. So people have been conditioned, many people have not been conditioned to experience love, as in they're growing up. And so therefore they reject it, or that's what makes them so fearful of it, because they experience so little, right?
And none of us had a perfect childhood, yeah. But we can choose that in a parallel reality, in a parallel universe, I like to say. I imagine that my parents are perfect and I was raised with the most love and I was always very loved. And that's the way I choose to think about my life. When those painful memories come, I remember my parallel reality that I created. So my brain knows that. Now, I'm very grateful because I had like at least 6 relationships in my life where I experienced being extremely well loved.
Wow.
In my last relationship, I experienced a lover, a beloved that knows devotion. Devotion is the most beautiful thing you can give to somebody, your full presence, devotion. You're completely devoted to that person. And that takes a surrender, and that takes knowing and trust yourself to be able to surrender to that level. But what you get when you do that is you love yourself more, but it takes so much courage and so much knowing yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you say to the couples that they're together and they're one or both of them, they're withholding love, or they're from each other, or they're holding back from giving the level of love that they really want to give or that they really want to receive? It's like, I've seen this before. I've done couples interventions, and they both want to receive more love from each other, but they're not giving it, or they're fearful of giving it, and they might be together 5, 10, 20 years. So what would you say to that couple?
I would say this, that first of all, we need to have this contribution, this something that moves you, that is beyond you. Because if we only focus on ourselves and our lives and paying the bills, and I know a lot of people live like that.
Yeah.
But when you choose to give something beyond yourself to somebody else, or to have faith in God, or whatever your God is, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like whatever you have faith, that is something beyond yourself. If you have something that helps children, anything that you do that is not for you, that is not coming back to you, that you're just truly giving, then you learn to give love.
Yeah.
And you learn to care for something else, like that need of service, that need of contribution. It's very valuable when you learn to contribute to somebody else, not wanting anything back. Then we can flow with love, because then it's like an experience. And for this couple, I would say that it's important to sit down and first write down, what am I needing that is not met? It's like go, and that needing is, it could be, I need more time sleeping, I need more quiet time, or I need to be heard, I need to be seen, I need to be understood. What is that thing that you need? And the second thing is, what am I feeling? I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling disconnected, I'm feeling that my sexual needs are not met, I'm frustrated. Whatever it is, at first you need to figure it out within yourself. And that takes every day asking yourself, what am I feeling? What am I needing? And when you are there, then you can go to your partner and say, I am feeling, I am needing. And then you will have enough compassion to understand what this person might be feeling. What need drove this person so mad to scream at me this way? What need is so unfulfilled within them? And then you start to have compassion for yourself and your beloved. And that's the next level of communication, because when we truly want to communicate, we need to think ourselves, is this communication creating connection, or is this creating separation? Because you have the power with your words to create connection or separation. And when we are in the heat of the moment in a relationship and the frustration of so many years, now we are that frustration. You become that, and you don't know life away from that, and you're just this zombie trying to find something to be mad at, because your brain is conditioned to be mad. So you need to come back and just, what am I feeling? What am I needing? How am I not giving to myself what I need? How am I corrupting myself and not like sabotaging this relationship and sabotaging my own life?
Wow.
It's very important to inquire all those things. And this is big work. This is not simple, but this is what it takes. And if you do all those things and you see that the person is not rising up to the occasion, then you need to take a step to see, is this serving me? But that's not the first step. The first step is to look into all these things and see.
Yeah. What am I feeling? What am I,
Needing.
needing? And, what's not being met for me that I need right now? And, and then you recommend asking to yourself, like, what am I not giving to myself? And
how can I fulfill my own needs? Because it's not your partner's responsibility. This is going to piss people off like right away. It's not your partner's responsibilities to fulfill your needs.
Wow. Yeah.
Huh? As well, it's not your responsibility to fulfill your partner's needs, but if you really love and care about somebody, you want to know what's going on for them. You want to be there for them.
Yeah.
And then you have to consider, if this person is considerate of me enough, am I missing out something they need so much and I'm not willing to give to them because I'm mad at my dad, I'm mad at my mom, I'm mad at my ex-boyfriend? Am I looking at my life with the futures from the past and not being present? Am I looking at this man as I looked at my ex-boyfriend, that this and that?
Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I looking at this woman with fear because the last girl cheated on me? Oh, whatever it is, right? Like whatever it is.
Yeah, we filter other people through our own conditioning, like our fears. We filter people from our beliefs that we've taken from our past experiences. We distort them, we generalize them, we delete certain things about them, based on the beliefs and the fears and the perceptions that we have stored from our past that are all made up. It's crazy. But so when you say it's not your partner's responsibility to fulfill your needs, and you have a need that's not being met in the relationship, how do you, like, maybe they're not feeling they're getting enough attention, or they're not feeling heard, the woman isn't feeling understood or not feeling seen or not feeling treated the way that she wants to be treated. So how does she navigate through that you're saying that it's not her partner's needs to responsibility to fulfill that, or it is, or it's not, or how do they
And this
navigate
is
through it?
hard, right? This is a big thing because first it's your responsibility to communicate what's not working for you.
Yeah.
Because even if you think the person knows, you now need to take a step and communicate that.
Yeah.
And when you communicate that, ladies, please, this is not like, you never wash the dishes, you never did this and that.
Yeah, yes.
Like, why do you come so fast? And that he will never hear that.
No.
I'm imagining you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling tired and you didn't have time to wash the dishes. I don't know, but it really affects me when you don't help me, because then I feel like I'm not important and you don't care about me. But I know this is a story in my head and I really want us to connect. But what I realize is, like, it's so silly, but when you don't do the dishes or put the toilet seat down, I don't feel loved. And then when you want to make love with me, I feel closed. And that's so silly because it's just the dishes, but I feel like you don't care and I'm so sad. Whoa, that's different than go, why you didn't do that?
Yeah. Then the attack. Yeah.
And
So
your tone and all of that matters, right? Like, so first is communicate what's not working for you in a loving way. The second thing is decide what you need and what you want for you. And then another thing is this relationship worth it? If I know that this thing is not going to work, okay, this guy is always tired, but he's helping me with this and that, and this is actually worth it right now, and I can wait a little bit. You need to decide what you want. What is the outcome you want before you have this thing? Like, people don't think things through. Sometimes I feel like people just pay me to think for them, in a way, or to help them to think better. Because I feel sad that people don't think things through. Let's think it through. Like, so, okay, what are the ways I am sabotaging this relationship? What are the ways that I see my past in front of me? What are the ways that I can create more connection and give more love so I get this and that? And then if you realize that the relationship is really not working and you're not getting your needs met, then you have to say, like, can I live with this? Do I want to live with that? And what do I choose to do with my life? And then you have to love yourself enough to have the courage to take the right choices.
Yeah. So they can communicate to their partner, that this is the needs that are not being met. When you did this, I felt this. I would love. I know it's not your intent. I would love this from you. It would mean the world to me. Or place whatever meaning on it. And then that way, their partner can meet your needs. Is that right?
Yeah, and when I learned compassionate communication, it was like learning French, and I'm still learning French. It's like, I was like, why does it take so long to say this? Like, this is ridiculous. I just want to say freaking wash the dishes. Why is it so hard? Right? I'm my Brazilian self, like passionate woman. Like, imagine I come from this culture and then I come to America and everybody in California is nice. And I don't like that. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm real. No, ladies, no. You need to take the time, because when you take the time to conversation, to have that conversation, it will take longer. I agree with you. It's more work. But then the work that doesn't need to be done later is a lot more time for you.
Yeah. Kill them. The one thing I said is pull the weed out while it's small. You know, pull the root out while it's small. You don't want all the weeds to grow, and then you're like, fuck, there's a lot of weeds that I got to pull out now. But pull the weed out while it's small. So that's
I
great.
love
Now,
that.
I'm going to deviate real quick here, and I want to ask you, because I know there's a lot of women that listen to this. So I'll start with for the women. What would you say to women who actually struggle to orgasm, or they can't orgasm in the bedroom? What would you say to help them to orgasm?
Right? The first thing women do that block their orgasm, they're really close to orgasm, and they start to hold their breath.
Wow. Okay.
So the first thing I say to you, exhale.
Exhale. Okay. Hear that, ladies?
Exhale, like like let, and then when you make sounds, you expand pleasure.
When you make sounds, you expand pleasure.
You will feel more in your body. That goes for men and women.
Okay.
The next thing is to discover what gives you pleasure, and sometimes tell your partner, this is how I like this or that. But you don't say, hey, I don't like this. Like you do it that way. You say, babe, I really love what you're doing, and I would love if you did this. I know I feel so much pleasure when I play with myself. I like my nipples like a little bit bite, but soft.
Yes.
Like if you can do that, that would help me to have a stronger orgasm. Come on, like how wouldn't he do that? Like, but if you say it in a way that is making him feel or her feel like she's not like that. I had this couple, and he said, this guy told his wife, like, I never had a problem with any other woman before. Why are you so hard to please? Well, how can she open up to that? Like, I would run like, okay, get the other ones then. Fuck it. Like,
yeah, guys. So people are so fearful to take responsibility for their results in their relationship. So all right. So women have got to exhale. They've got to breathe. That helps expand the pleasure in their body. They've got to tell their partner. Is the second thing is tell their partner how they like to receive pleasure in the bedroom and during sex. Yeah.
Now, there is more pleasure than just your clitoris. Like that is your G-spot. And ladies, I invite you to have a relationship with your G-spot. In Tantra, we call your sacred spot, because that's the root of your being. Everything that you are is in there. There's a direct connection to your heart. So I invite you to just like put your finger in. If you curl up like towards, so if you go like in and out towards inside, it feels like a inside of a raspberry. It's 2 inches in. You curl your finger a little bit and just hold it and make a relationship. And start to massage it. Start to release it. That's the core of your pleasure, right? Another thing that I invite women to do is have a relationship with yoni eggs. That is, these eggs, they're made out of jade, and they're made out of crystals. And women that had babies, or women that have a hard time having orgasms, sometimes the vagina gets too loose and they don't feel it anymore. So you can actually, your vagina is so amazing because it can get tightened, like more tightened when you are a virgin. Wow. So what you do is you go find these yoni eggs. You start with the bigger one, and you just squeeze and relax, and you use them once a day. Squeeze 50 times. That's all you need to do, right? And the rest you just learn in my little. You also need to do your Kegels exercises. You need to squeeze your entire vagina and relax it, like. And you can do it 10 times every time you urinate. Now this goes for men too, right? But now we're talking for women. So like, squeeze it 10 times at least every time after you urinate, and then it will create a strength in the vagina. And we have a muscle that is called the pubic coccygeneus. I call it the PC muscle because it's such a long word. The PC muscle, all right? So the PC muscle needs to be strong in order to experience longer, stronger, better, healthier orgasms. So get on it, work that muscle out, all right? So the way to work it out is like when you the way to find it is like when you have to go pee and you're kind of like scared you're gonna lose it,
Yeah.
like that muscle you squeeze,
Yeah.
that's it. You just squeeze and relax. I'm squeezing right now. All right. So you
Yeah.
squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. And that's what you do after you urinate. If you do it 10 times, you can do more, but like start with that. So then you
Okay.
create a pattern. Every time you pee, you do it.
Yeah.
In 1 month, that muscle will be a lot stronger, and I guarantee your orgasm will be stronger as well.
Wow.
And another thing is,
Yeah.
if you're touching yourself, conditioning with pornography, that takes away from
Yeah.
your orgasmic power. So I recommend that you be present with yourself or think about somebody you know in your life. Like that will be better for you. And another thing, ladies, vibrators desensitize your vagina. I'm sorry, they are so much fun, but they're not good for you, JJ. So you stop it. You put them in a drawer for a few months and you resensitize your vagina and you use them once in a while, not every day. When you're conditioned to a vibrator, the nerve endings of your clitoris and your vaginal wall, they get overused and they desensitize. And then we had enough desensitizing with men entering us without asking. Like, the first thing that I ask men to do when they enter a woman, I said, let me enter you with the fingers. I said, enter her. I said, I'm entering you with love and presence for all the times that you haven't been penetrated with love and presence.
Yeah.
And ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So you be that love and presence to yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to say your no's. It's like, I'm not ready yet. I need to be a little more stimulated.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you kiss me a little longer?
Saying
It's okay to ask. Men love to serve.
yeah.
Men love to do what you want. All you have to do is just say it. Like I totally say it. I say, "Oh, would you kiss me a little more? I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
I want to fully receive you. I don't want to just do
Yeah.
it for you. I want to do it for me too."
Yeah.
And it's hot, ladies.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. If they
Yeah.
tell the guy that, yeah, 100%. All right. That's awesome advice.
Is that enough? One more? I can go on and
I
on,
know
but I
you
think
can
that's
talk about this
enough.
for another hour, but I've got but that gives a good uh good bite-sized piece for that. All right, and then I just want to ask you, for the men out there, helping the men out, and a
Mhm.
lot of men struggle with this, and a lot of men have a lot of shame around it as well. Is is helping men to last longer in the bedroom. So, I think there's a lot of people
And
get,
then, guys, 10 minutes, 20 minutes is not enough. 30 minutes is not enough.
well, some don't even
What if
reach
you can
that.
go on?
So, so 10 and 20 is not enough. Wow. All right. So what would you say to men that struggle, that they are experiencing premature ejaculation, or how would you help, what do you advise men to do so they can last longer in the bedroom?
First thing is consciously choose, I want to take longer.
Okay.
And then decide that is okay to come longer, right? Because and then would you like to, with the things I'm going to tell you, you need to understand that you also will have longer, stronger, and better orgasms. That I'm not just saying delay ejaculation, because that doesn't give you much. But if I say to you, actually what I'm about to teach you will make you have stronger and better orgasms as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and then to last longer, I think the first thing you need to learn to take a belly breath and come to your body.
Yeah.
And get off your head.
Yeah.
All right. First thing you need to feel into your body. So big belly breath, exhale. Right? Like when you slow the movement, slow the breath, slow the movement, slow the breath. Big key. Right? And then you need to practice. Like what in this is slowing down, you need to notice in your body, like how can you slow down? And another thing is like when you breathe, exhale with a sound, circulate the energy, inhale. Right? And then we want to slow the breath, slow the sound, slow the movement.
Yeah.
And then there is this thing like, okay, if you're watching pornography, I invite you to stop for a month.
Yeah.
Because you want to learn something different about your body. Right?
Yeah.
So another thing is, so here is one great technique that you can use that works every time, is to inhale and then put the tongue to the roof of your mouth and hold. And then when you exhale, you bring your chin to your chest. So inhaling, lifting the chin, lifting the head, the tongue goes to the roof of the mouth. Exhale, the chin slowly come to the chest, and you come down and you swallow. When you do that, everything slows down. So you could be making love to her and you just take this deep breath. It's very sexy. You put your head up. She doesn't know you're doing all of that. You just take a deep breath. You put your tongue with the mouth. It's like you just do a cobra pose and you exhale, and then you exhale really slowly and you open your eyes and you say something nice to her. Another thing is you need to be present with what's going on with her, because most men, they're tripping out in their head when they're having sex and they don't know what's going on for her. They don't even pay attention to her. What is she feeling? What is she? And then this whole thing about thinking a ball game, forget about that. Like, what you need to think about is, how is she feeling? Like, breathe with her, talk to her, be with her. Now you are in a flow, you're connected. Say nice things to her, be with her, be present, open your eyes. Another thing I invite to people, don't close your eyes when you're making love. You're in your own world. You need to open your eyes and be present.
Yeah, and look at the person, right?
Yeah. If you don't want to look at them, maybe you shouldn't be doing that with them.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people have their own insecurities, though. So what do you think? Like, they struggle. They don't. Women struggle with this as well. They don't. They fear the judgment of their partner about their bodies. How does someone overcome that?
Yeah. So, and I can say a lot about that because, like, I always thought of myself as super confident, and I feel beautiful. I know I'm beautiful, right? So people said, it's easy for you because you're so beautiful. So for you, it's like, it's just easy. It's just like, I have my own things that I think that are not like super perfect, right? Like, and I had a partner that was 20 years younger than me. And that affected me a little bit. In the beginning, I was like, wow, I have this guy that is like a perfect body.
Yeah, 20 years
right?
younger than you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh wow, that's like, I have a little stretch mark here, a little fat here. And I was like, I just breathe into this. And I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you know how beautiful, how amazing you are. And I say that and I start to feel into that, right? And I remember that I know these ladies so well. And I wrote this book for men because for 20 years, I heard men in my office talking about how they feel about women. So I really know what men are thinking, maybe, like,
yes.
Right? So they love you. You are a woman. When you are making love to somebody, that person is the most important person in the world to you.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Women
in this very moment, I am the most important thing to you right now, because I'm the source of pleasure right now, right here. And so if I have a little stretch mark, do you really think he's going to care? Do you really think she's going to care if you look this or that? And another thing is, you know what's sexy? Is how good you feel in your body. I have been with, oh my God, like people that are men and women that are absolutely beautiful, but they feel so bad about themselves that they're no longer hot, that it's like, it doesn't even feel interesting anymore, because they're so uncomfortable with their own body that it doesn't make them sexy. And then like somebody that is so is more interesting if they are like connected and they feel good in their body. So like, how good can you feel in your body? How do you develop that? You make love to yourself. You massage yourself. You know how your body feels. You know where you feel pleasure, and you're willing to feel pleasure. And now you remember that you're the most important thing in the world for this person right now. And you got to show up with it all day, or they're going to see your body regardless.
Yeah.
So
you may as well feel good about it. They're going to see it anyway. That you may as well enjoy it. You may as well accept. You may as well breathe into it.
And the whole thing of and turning off the lights inside, come on. Like, we need to be with each other. And it's like, I just want to bring something up. Like, people say to me, like, well, the first time I make love to somebody, I want to have the lights off. And I say, you know what? I want to have the lights on because I want to see what the heck is there. Because what if there is something I I
Yeah.
use the pick or something that I need to know this before I go there.
Yeah.
Right? Like if there is a bump or whatever you see that you want to see
Yeah.
it.
Or something, you know.
And then
Yeah.
it reminds me of something. Is that okay if I bring something else up?
Go, yeah.
Because I think STD is such a serious thing that people don't take it serious. And a lot of people come to my office like devastated. They catch something or whatever, right? Like, and they feel like they're ruined for life or whatever. It's so
Yeah.
sad. And what I say to that is it's okay to have a STD conversation before you make love to somebody. For me,
Yeah.
if I am interested in making love to somebody, I require a full panel. Am I crazy in doing that? No. That shows that I love myself and then I care. And then the person that's going to make love to me will feel like they're safe too. And yes, okay, you have this one night or whatever, you want to have fun. You got to ask, like, when was the last time you were tested?
Yeah.
And guys, please don't ask how many men she has been with. That's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. That's an absurd conversation.
Yeah, you would be, you know, when was the last time? Can I ask you when was the last time you were tested? I really want to. What? Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm concerned. I know you're amazing, but it's just that I really, my doctor asked me to really like to have this conversation. I understand that we live in a world that we're all doing so much. I just want to know when was the last time. And then if you say I was tested this time,
Yeah.
and and then you volunteer information, right? I just got out of a relationship, or I've been with 3 people. I was very careful, or I've been, but have that conversation is a good idea, and people skip that conversation because they're both uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important. Another important conversation is pregnancy. Like, are we using protection? Are we not using? It's okay to stop kissing and making out and say, hey, I have something in my head. Like, we need this. Like, can we talk about it? And
All
then
right.
you can bring this up. And then in the heat of the moment, you think, oh, it's going to be a turn off, but it could be like just 5 minutes, you know? And
Yeah.
then you can continue like with peace of mind because it's an important topic.
All right, that's beautiful. That's going to serve so many people to navigate that. Now, to finalize this and to, I guess, bring it all to a conclusion, and it's been extraordinary, by the way. Thank you for all your knowledge and wisdom. Can you please share with us what do you believe, what would you say is the most important life lesson that has helped you the most to to enjoy your own sexuality, enjoy the relationship area of your life, to master the relationship area of your life? What is the most important life lesson to master the relationship area of your life?
I keep thinking of a sexual lesson.
Let's give us the most important sexual lesson and the most important, I guess, you know, general lesson or you know, for
Okay.
people.
So I'll go with the sexual thing because it came
Okay,
to my
okay,
head.
that's great.
Our potential to orgasm and to pleasure is infinite.
Okay.
And that's something that most people don't realize. And I had an argument with my Tantra master back in the day, and we were in the car, and he said, your potential for pleasure is like, I was like, I can't possibly come anymore. Like, stop. I was like, just stop. And he's driving and pleasing me. And I'm saying, stop. Like, I can't, I can't. It's like, you have water? I said, yes, I have water. But like, just drink some water. And I'm like, but I can't possibly do it anymore. And he said, your potential for orgasm is infinite and you need to understand that. And he continued pleasuring me. And I just took a deep breath into that understanding. And then what happened is it blossomed into more bliss. And I've been in this path for over 20 years. And I can tell you, every time there is more pleasure.
Wow.
That is the next layer that opens up. So, and I'm a Tantra master saying this.
Yeah.
So for you, your potential for pleasure is infinite. So I invite you to tap into that and to realize that there's so much pleasure, so much happiness, so much joy for you to feel in your life, and that you deserve to feel it and to open the doors to feel it. I think that's the most important lesson, to really choose to say, I want to feel this. I want this in my life. And here is the thing that I want to say. When you are in your bliss and you are in your happy place,
Yes.
how much more joy can you give to the people around you?
100%.
How much more the people around you enjoy you and collect the fruits of your happiness. So you own it this to the planet. You own it to the people in your life.
Wow. That's beautiful. Well, I love that lesson. I think it's beautiful what you've shared. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your knowledge and everything you've given to this audience. It has been absolutely beautiful. I've learned so much from you. You've helped me so much in my own journey with what I'm doing in the relationship area of my life. And I think it's great. There's a lot of people that can benefit so much from working with you. And so how do they reach you? How people want to reach you if they want to explore their sexuality further and master that area of their life? How should they contact you, reach out to you?
First, I'm deeply honored to work with you and to be here now. I really love everything you do. Thank you so much. It means the world to me saying that. I really love everything you do. And I would love to help you that is listening to it too, like to have this better life. The first step, go to Divine, DivineKika.com. And I have a contact form, and you can shoot me an email and saying that you want to talk to me, that you heard this podcast and there's something that I can help you with. Just contact me and I'll be happy to talk to you, and then we can go farther. I invite you. I have a little Tantra course. It's called Introduction to Tantra, and it's like 70 steps for you to understand yourself better. You can buy it in my website and then download my free gifts there. I have a little book on ejaculation control. That is, it's a very simple little ebook that talks about the 10 steps of male arousal and how to control it, and it goes in depth, and it's just like 1 hour read. And then I have this little video that helps you too. So I invite you to just go to my website, contact me. I will respond.
Yes.
And we will connect. And I wish you the most fantastic journey into loving yourself. And remember, that is your responsibility to be happy with yourself, because we need you happy. We need you in your joy.
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, that's it. That's a wrap. Let's give it thanks for Kika. She is amazing, and I'm so happy to have her. She's awesome. So incredible. Thank you. And we will be seeing you for the next episode. That was incredible.